What is up, guys? Welcome to another edition of Market Marauders, beating the market one trade at a time. For you, Market Marauders investment channel helps you to find the best deals in the market. If something you're interested in, make sure that thumbs up. Definitely helps the YouTube algorithm promote the videos, and subscribe. All right, so be jumping into stocks, top penny stocks under $1. So let's jump into it. So the first one on the list, we got ticker sign ADOM, and that is for Adomini. They ended the day today at 69 cents, touched a high of 70 cents, so went 1 cent down below that high. They seem to be on a bullish uptrend at the time of this video, denoted by the moving average 10 line, which is red line, being above the moving average 50 and 100 line. So that is pretty good. Looks to be a pretty significant bullish run up from about 25 cents all the way up to 70 cents to ending at 69 cents. So pretty good volume. VWAP is also pretty high. So I would definitely look at this one for tomorrow as an early morning mover since it ended on a high note. Let's go to some background information to see what they do. So they are zero emissions vehicle service. So as you know, the EV market is red hot at this current moment. Every EV company, it seems these days, are all popping up, having huge gains. It's what you would call the EV bubble. I've heard that it eventually will be popped, but at the current time, all EVs are starting to go up, especially considering President Biden or President-elect Biden would be going and switching over to a greener alternative, trying to have zero emissions. I think it's by carbon neutral by 2025. So I think they'll be executing a lot of those plans on trying to incorporate a lot of EV vehicles on the road. So this company, going here, they have a backlog. One of the things that I saw in here is they have a backlog at September 30th, 2020 of 2.9 million, which increased to 3.1 million in October as a result of the order mentioned above, which is talking about this order. So in August, they received a final approval as a dealer for our products in New York Truck Voucher Incentive Program, or NYTVIP, which funded up to $100,000 per vehicle, were approved in October in New York City Cleanup Trucks, or NYCCTP. I mean, they really love the acronyms with this one, which requires first being approved for NYTVIP. NYCCTP provides $100,000 for all Class 4 all-electric trucks and greater amounts for classes 5 through 8 trucks. So it seems like they have a pretty big deal with the New York Truck Voucher Incentive Program to make cleaner trucks. And it looks like they're capitalizing on that, taking advantage of that. So that's pretty good for the company as a whole, having some steady income come in for them. They are in the EV space, so I would say definitely look out for them to continue to go up, especially once more people find out about this company. The volume was pretty high today, but I could definitely see them getting above the dollar mark just because it's an EV sector and people are trying to get their hands on lots of EV stocks. So that's the first one on the list. Second one is ticker sign GTE, which is Grand Tierra Energy. It looks like today they had a pretty big breakout, so it went all the way up to 30 cents. Went up after hours to end at 31 cents. So pretty good movement on them. Definitely going to look at them for early morning mover tomorrow. They are in a bullish uptrend and above moving average 10, being above moving average 50 and moving average 100, which is a purple and yellow line. So that's always good. Volume seem to be high as well. VWAP is up. So going back information on them. They are an energy company. The energy sector is red hot as well, in my personal opinion, even more so than the EV sector, especially considering President-elect Biden coming into office. Energy sector will boom, in my personal opinion, based on his presidency or potential presidency or whatever you want to call it. But I would say, yeah, definitely look at a lot of energy sector stocks that are out there that they could potentially continue to benefit from this presidency. So on here it says adjusted EBITDA during the quarter was 22 million, up from the prior 18 million. This quarter funds flow for operations was 8 million, up from the prior 6 million. So not too bad. Showing their volume and sold outputs from October to December. of 2020, and then I guess projected to 2021 on here. So it seems like business is booming for this company. Not tremendously something you know to brag about, but doing pretty good overall as a company. In my personal opinion, they're not bleeding massive amounts of money. So I would definitely keep them on my list to look at, especially with this presidency coming up. Next, we got ticker sign PEI for PREIT. So it's kind of funny. REIT is in their name, so you can kind of figure out what they do with that. They have touched a high of 88 cents. They ended the day at 85 cents, but then after hours went up to 92 cents. So above this high that they have touched. So definitely look for them as an early morning mover, especially considering that they went all the way to 92 cents and they're almost at that dollar threshold. So going back information on them. This is a REIT. So if you know what a REIT is, I have a link down below where you can check out my dividend investing class or course and learn all about REITs and all types of dividends. And take the course and it'll explain it all to you. But they basically own a lot of different malls. Looks like in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Virginia. So these are all different malls they own. REITs were kind of hit pretty hard with the pandemic, but it seems like they have a pretty well-versed portfolio of all the different properties that they own. I think malls are definitely going to come back. People are going to feel more comfortable, especially with the vaccine coming out. And once that gets FDA approval, I think people will be more willing to go back out in public to do shopping. I know people are still doing Christmas shopping, so people are at malls. Malls haven't shut down. People go to the Apple Store, the B-Dubs. I know the B-Dubs here in my town hasn't lost any business. People still go to that one. So I think in general, the people who they're renting to, are still getting business. So they're still paying their rental agreements. So that's one of the advantages of having commercial realty or real estate properties under your belt, and a bunch of them, opposed to just single household income real estate properties. You kind of have these guaranteed contracts. Some of them are triple net leases, meaning there's an obligation for a certain amount of time period, usually 15 to 20 years. So a lot of these are all secured investments for these companies. So that's that on that one. So next one we got ticker sign WPG for Washington Prime. They ended the day at 98 cents. Then after hours went up a little more to end at $1.04. So they have crossed that dollar threshold. 99 cents seem to be the high. They are bullish. Denoted by the moving average 10 line being above moving average 50 and 100 line, and VWAP is high as well. Looks like they're going to be an early morning mover as well, so I'll definitely look for them. Seem like the whole economy as a whole seem to be going up today, which is a pretty good sign. I'm happy about it. If you're invested in the stock market, you basically made money today, or if you have like a long-term portfolio, you made money. So going to Washington Prime, they are a real estate company. They do have a lot of different properties. They have properties in Arizona, California. Looks like they have 3 in California, 3 malls and a lumber yard. They got 3 locations in Colorado, 1 in Connecticut, 13 in Florida, 1 in Georgia, 1 in Hawaii, 9 in Illinois, 12 in Indiana, 2 in Iowa, 1 in Kansas, 1 in Kentucky, 3 in Maryland, 1 in Michigan, 2 in Minnesota, 1 in Montana, 4 in New Jersey, 1 in New Mexico, 2 in New York, 4 in North Carolina. So, I mean, the list just goes on and on. They're basically everywhere. They have a tremendously large portfolio of malls, shopping centers, plazas. So they have a very large portfolio. And I think at this current price, in my opinion, they're definitely undervalued for being under $1 or just barely touching $1 now, especially for their large, vast amount of portfolio that they own. I know one company that a lot of people invest in, going into real estate and talking about REITs, is Real Estate Income, which is ticker sign O. A lot of people invest in that because it pays a dividend like every month. But a company like this, their portfolio, in my opinion, is almost larger than Real Estate Income's portfolio. So I would definitely look at this one because I think REIT or ticker sign O, it's going for like $30 or $40 a share, and this one's only $1 a share. So huge potential, in my opinion, for this one to run up, especially with their large portfolio and the country starting to begin to open back up. So lastly, we want to go to ticker sign VIVE, and this is for Vive Medical. So they have touched a 67-cent high, went back down to 58 cents at the end of the day, but then bounced back up a little bit to 62 cents. So only 5 cents away from the high that they had reached beforehand. Background information on them, we can see this is their third quarter 2020 financial results and corporate updates. Just one of the things I want to highlight on here is that they reported a $1.5 million in total revenue for the third quarter of 2020, with a global installed base of 865 Vive systems as September 2020. So $1.5 million is not a small sum of money for any company. So I think the fact that they were able to secure $1.5 million in revenue means that they're on track to doing something okay, or that they know what they're doing. It doesn't show anywhere on here that they're bleeding money or that they're losing, a tremendous amount of money. It also shows that they're increasing their revenue quarter over quarter, which is a good metric in my personal opinion. So I definitely would keep them on watch list on potential run up for tomorrow. Now, these are the stocks that I think are going to potentially go up. Make sure you do more due diligence on the stock. This shouldn't be your last video to do due diligence. Make sure you go out there and do some more due diligence to make a more informed decision. But good luck to everybody out there trading. Hope everybody's able to lock in some profits. If you are able to lock in profits, make sure you drop it down in the comment section. Share your success stories for everybody that's out there. I know it'll help the whole community to show your gains. It's not bragging, in my personal opinion, to talk about, hey, I made money on this stock, I made money on this stock. It definitely helps everybody out. The whole goal is to build a community of people to help, find different stock picks. I know everybody can't look at every stock at different times, but each individual person has their own watch list, which I think helps the whole community as a whole. So if there's something that you think I should look at, put it in the comment section below. And if you think there's something that everybody should look at for potential growth, make sure that you drop that in the comment section down below. While you're down there, also hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.